alaikum and welcome to Press Pause with Jouhayna. Today we're shooting season 3 and this is the most iconic guest yet because it's my mother. I would like to introduce Dr. Hardika Asser. Welcome.
Hi, assalamu alaikum to everybody.
How are you feeling, Ma?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Couldn't be better.
Ready for the show?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we start every episode with a rapid fire round. So basically I'm going to say a word and you just tell me the first thing that pops into your head when I say a word.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Ready? Oh, and it's been a while since we shot. I'm going to use a sound timer, so it's only for 1 minute. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ready? Like taboo.
Whatever taboo is.
We play taboo and during Eid.
I forgot.
Okay, anyway, let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Animal.
Horse.
Destination.
Barcelona.
Book.
Book, this one.
It's okay, no stress. Just first book that comes into your head.
Titanic is a book.
I'm not sure.
It's just that line.
Okay. Movie.
Titanic.
And there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Hobby.
Horse riding.
Nice. Season.
I love spring.
Okay.
There is any in the UAE.
There isn't. Which country is American Spring?
It could be American spring.
Okay. Song. Feel free to sing.
Song. I can't think right now.
It's okay. It's the pressure of the song. This is what it feels like for me at work every day.
Oh
So-
my lord! Okay, a song. I cannot at the moment.
No song off to your head. It's okay. Person.
You. Of course.
That was okay. So that was a rapid fire round. It's supposed to warm you up, pun intended.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Before I get to the questions.
already. Yeah.
Okay. Amazing. So first, before we even begin, I wanted to thank you for agreeing to even come on the show because I've wanted you on the show before it was even a thing. And before I even came up with a name for the podcast, I wanted you to be here. So 2 seasons later, for season 3, you're here. So that means a lot to me. So thank you for that.
You're most welcome. Anytime.
Yeah. And also, if you weren't the way that you were, I wouldn't be the woman I am today.
Oh, baby. Oh.
So I just wanted the world to meet you because I talk about you every episode, every public speaking session, and honestly, every time I speak, I'm like, do you know my mother? So yeah, I just
all be by now.
Yeah, exactly. So I wanted everyone to actually meet you and understand like the person you are. Especially when people meet me, they're like, oh, you're so much. And I'm like, I'm not even 5% of my mother. 100%. So I just wanted to invite you to the show and I'm finally happy that people get to meet you.
Alhamdulillah. Same here.
In the comment section
there. Let's think about it more often, maybe, inshallah.
Yeah. So the name of this podcast is called Press Pause. So if we were to press pause on your present day right now, what would it look like?
Pressing pause, present day, contentment. Alhamdulillah, I'm content with however life is going right now.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, shukr.
Yeah. And I know you have a lot of hobbies since you retired, like horse riding. How did it come about?
Horse riding? Well, you see, I'm a veterinarian. So now, during our course in the first year, we had a compulsory class of horse riding.
Mm-hmm.
And during that class, one of the girls, just before me, she kind of fell off the horse and whatever. So that kind of created a kind of phobia in me.
Okay.
So I was like very apprehensive and kind of, on guard around the horse throughout. Since those
I remember
days.
that.
Yeah, since those days. And you can call it a phobia maybe. And I had to crush it.
Yeah.
The moment I was in an empty nest, like no girls around, nobody, like responsibility had become less, I said, focus on yourself, girl.
Yeah.
So I said I'm going to take up horse riding because I was scared of the horses and scared of falling and everything. And alhamdulillah, I've cured it.
How have you healed it? You have healed it. How old were you when you started horse riding?
I was 60.
Wow.
Alhamdulillah, now, alhamdulillah. I'm doing the trot, the canter, the gallop. I didn't even know I was doing the gallop. When I went to Nairobi, oh, by the way, I do horse riding wherever I travel.
Wow.
So I make sure I'm on a horse, and then you'll see me grinning there on the horse. So anyway, this was in Nairobi, and I was riding, and there was this guy with me. We went into the forest and everything. It was a totally different experience. I mean, the riders will relate to this. Totally different experience in the forest than in the desert here, when we ride. So it was wonderful. And then I didn't even know, because I was so carried away with the moves of the horse, and I was just going with him and in rhythm. And I was being the gallop. Well, I didn't know. So once we reached...
What is the maximum you were doing before that you knew you were doing?
Trot and a canter.
Okay.
Yes. So and a gallop comes like faster than a canter. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did, and I was so unaware. So, it hasn't... innocent to me. So, alhamdulillah, it's become, this feeling where the wind blows into your face and then your hijab goes with the wind, It's wonderful. Wow. I suggest everybody should ride a horse.
Yes.
Please.
I like to come to the stables and feed them.
Yes, I love feeding them too.
Yeah, like
so gratifying.
Oh, 100. Like
you feel so good.
Exactly. Like even the horses, they know you've pulled into the farm before you've even gotten out of the car. And I've seen it because we got to the farm before you.
Yes.
And Andy and I were sitting and we were watching a class that was ongoing. And then you pulled up and the horses all in the stable started hitting against the stables. And they were like, the lady with the apples is here.
Yeah, apples and carrots, man. Where are you? When are you got to me?
Exactly. And then you come out and you go, hello.
And they know this voice.
And the horses lose their
know this voice.
They lose their...
Yeah, they know the voice.
So, yeah. And then also, I know you're always studying different languages. So I finished my night shift and you were supposed to come over. And I'm like, Ma, please, I need you to stay silent because I need to sleep after my night shift. And you're like, it's okay, I've got my language class, la, 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 la. I was like, yeah, Ma, but I need you to be quiet when you're learning this language. It's like, it's sign language anyway, it's fine. And I was like, oh, okay, no, that works. Yeah. So is that the latest language you're learning at the moment?
That's correct, yes. I'm learning the American Sign Language, and it's really interesting because now I know I can reach that part of the population, irrespective of the language or where they are from, and I can communicate with them to a certain extent because I'm still learning, to people who are deaf and hard of hearing. It's an achievement. It's so gratifying because you kind of reach them and they are so warm. It's a society in itself.
Yeah.
And it's extremely gratifying, and I love it. I love it. It's a good hobby.
Yeah. And what other languages are you learning? Or are you just taking it one at a time right now?
ASL is my priority right now, but I do a sprinkling of Spanish now and then of course Mandarin. Woo!
Yeah, I remember the Chinese class.
Yeah, Ya Allah, Mandarin is difficult, but then you get there, So yeah, that's how it is. It's interesting. Why I wanted to learn Mandarin was because just before the COVID pandemic, I had planned to visit China, and when I visited China, my aim was that I would learn more once I'm there, like thrown into the population. So I wanted to have an introduction to it,
Okay.
Like, okay, at least I won't go hungry when I'm in China,
Yeah.
So that's how it goes.
And how many languages do you speak now?
Approximately 12, yeah.
Oh, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. Fairly well.
And what was the first language you started learning that triggered this interest in continuously learning different languages throughout your life?
It was French.
Okay. I remember French growing up. Because you were doing a class with Michelle?
Yeah, with Michelle, my teacher from Marseille. So, in French, we had to do it in high school. Either choose French, German, or Hindi.
Okay.
So I chose French. And since then, after I finished, and then I finished high school, then I went to vet med school, and I couldn't do it there. So once I graduated and everything, I said, now I have the time. Although I'm working, I have to continue with this.
So since you've mentioned that you had to pick a language in school, so if we were to hit the metaphorical rewind button in your life,
Yeah.
so what was your childhood like? And where was it? It was in Dar es Salaam, right?
Yeah, my childhood was in Dar es Salaam or in Tanzania. We were a very close-knit family. I know it was very nice, warm. I felt very secure with my parents being around, and we were, I have a sister, an elder sister, and she was very focused and one of those, those type of people, the nerdy types who study a lot. And she was really good, really, really good. I was the naughty one, but I was good enough considering the amount of naughtiness that I was instilling into my books, or rather not even reading them.
Yeah.
So that's how it was. Yeah, childhood was, alhamdulillah, it was fun with lots of animals also again. And it was great. And
which animals did you have growing up?
Growing up, we had cats, we had dogs, we had a little monkey, then we had a little bush baby who was there just for a while with us, and we had a bird. So we had.
And what's the monkey's name?
Gonchu.
Gonchu? What does it mean?
Gonchu means, I believe, okay, because I think we saw it in one Hindi movie.
Okay.
And it was Gonchu means the fool, or...
it does? Okay.
It does mean that, yeah, so, something like that. So he was Gonchu, and you say Gonchu, and, he had hierarchy in the love that he felt for the family members.
Oh, who did he like best?
My father.
Oh, okay.
All the animals loved my father.
Okay.
Yeah? So my father was there, and after that it was me. And after me was whoever else. So if my father is there, I run away from him because he will attack you. He's trying to protect my father.
Oh, okay.
If
I didn't realize that.
there, nobody else should be around because I'm next.
How did you end up with a monkey in the house? Did he just rock up into the garden and that was it?
I don't really remember how we got him, but I remember my father brought him. Somebody had abandoned it or something like that. So
this has been going on.
This is in the blood. It's in the blood. Rescue.
Yeah, we're always rescuing animals.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then, so what you remember from your childhood is that it was safe, it was fun, you were naughty. You're still naughty.
You're
still naughty 64 years later.
I was very naughty from childhood, Khalas, what is there? Life is too short, You have to be naughty. There's some spice in your life.
Yeah.
You have to put it. Then it rocks.
Exactly. It definitely does. And what made you decide to become a vet? And how did you move from Dar es Salaam? So after Dar es Salaam, did you move to the UAE and then it was India? Because I need a refresher in your story as well.
Yeah, okay. It was Dar es Salaam. My father went to work in Dubai first, yeah. So when he went to work in Dubai, he had to go because at those times it was not so easy from Tanzania to send foreign exchange overseas and things like that.
Okay.
So he had to travel out of the country to be able to provide for us. And then we applied for high school.
Okay.
Yeah, and we went to high school in Pune.
In India.
Okay. So those were 2 years in Pune in India in high school. And when we were there, from the time I was a kid, this much.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a vet. Khalas, there's no two ways about it.
Okay.
My father, bless his heart, he wanted me to be an ophthalmologist. Because he believed a person who has the ability to give vision back to a human or even, so I said, I could give back vision to an animal.
Yeah.
That was my argument, So he's like, okay, whatever you want to do, you won't be pushed, you won't be pulled, towards whatever you want to do. Because my sister was set. She was set. She wanted to become a human. And she's the human of the family. I'm the animal.
Human doctor.
Yeah, a human doctor.
Like, she wanted to become a human. It was her dream.
Yeah. So she was the human doctor and I'm known as the animal one because I'm the animal doctor. And both of us, alhamdulillah, we made it. We made what we wanted to be from the time we were children. That was her ambition or hobby, and mine was to be a veterinarian. Mm-hmm. So while my sister was studying, both of us were studying in India.
Okay.
So my sister was studying there and then she said, okay, why don't you? Because I got the, what do you call it? Admission into the medical school, human.
Oh.
Okay. I said, I don't want it because my marks were good. Yeah. I told you, with the least effort, if you get good marks, why should you study?
This is Andy's principle as well. I had to study so hard and I still didn't do well enough.
Yeah, so my sister was up there, so she definitely got into med school. For me, I got into med school.
Yeah.
Okay? And they was telling me to stay there in med school. And I said, no, I want vet med.
Okay.
So because my sister wanted to become a gynecologist, which alhamdulillah, she made it. She's a gynecologist. She made it. So what she wanted me to do from those days, she wanted me to become a human doctor, like medical, and after that become a pediatrician. She said that
Family
we would
business.
have family business. I would have one villa there with my women coming in to pop out babies, and you would take them. So you have a constant flow of clients. I said, you're thinking too far.
From birth.
Can't they keep cats and dogs? And I will look after them. So that's how it was. I mean, I was set in my ways, and so was she. Alhamdulillah, we made it. We made it.
Two strong personalities.
Alhamdulillah. Yes.
And then what was it like in med school? Because I remember Masi stayed in the north of India.
Yes.
And you went to the south.
Yes.
And you always like to shock people that you can speak Malayalam. Yeah.
Yes. And understand Tamil. They can't backbite me or rather front bite me.
Yeah. The best thing is when we go to the abaya shops and then you just look at them and you start speaking their language before you've confirmed where they're from. And then we get discount.
Yes. That's a catch.
Yeah.
China too, with a little bit of Mandarin that I know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We used to make trips with Aliazi.
Oh, yeah.
China
Aliaza does love China Mall.
She loves it.
She really does. And then what was your journey like in veterinary school? Because what was it, 7 years?
It was 5.5 years.
Okay. Because I remember when I was researching it, because you wanted me to become a vet.
Yeah,
And
exactly. It depends which college, which country.
okay.
It's different in different countries. The
Yeah.
duration. Yeah.
What was your journey like in vet school? Did you enjoy it?
School was wonderful. It was wonderful, actually, because I was doing what I always wanted to do, and it was never one patient. Like with human doctors, they get one patient, either a male or a female. Boring. For us, we don't know what's going to walk in the door. Is it a dog, a cat, what kind of species? Yeah, a cat, a dog, a bird, a rabbit, a horse, name it. They used to walk in, and we used to treat them. Cold.
What was your favorite species to work on?
Favorite species at the time was cows, believe it or not.
Oh,
Yeah, it was cows.
I really like cows. I found that out when I was in the UK.
Cows are so good because they just sit there. You do what you want to do. They don't retaliate.
Okay.
The maximum they can do is kick you. Okay?
Which way do they kick? Is it backwards or sideways?
I'll tell you. A cow can kick you from the side. So
So that's where you can't stand.
you shouldn't. Okay?
Because I know we avoid the horses from the back.
Yeah,
So
horses, they kick behind. And a camel, toba astaghfirullah. Front, side, but then they bite you also.
And they
camel
spit on
run,
you.
and they spit on you. They do what they want to you, They're so retaliating. I mean, if they don't like what you're doing to them,
Yeah.
God help you.
Did I tell you when Sarah and I went to the camel farm?
Yes, I wasn't there.
You weren't there. That was the problem. They were like, where is she? And that Mustafa, the camel that Sarah was obsessed with,
Yes.
he was charging towards...
No, I think...
Honestly, it was so funny. And like,
And Sarah.
Sarah's like, I've never seen you move so fast. And it was every woman for herself. I was like, I love you, but I'm out. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my eyes are tearing up with how hard I laughed. So, yeah. But if anyone wants to know who Sarah is, she is the last season's guest. So, season 2, episode 4. Her story is great. You should tune in. And Sarah's mother's adopted child. She loves her.
Yes, I do.
What would you say was the best part and the worst part of vet schools?
Vet school, there was really no worst part. It was just acclimatizing and getting used to it. It needed a lot of acclimatization at the time because we were just 2 foreign students in the whole college.
And how many people were there?
Our batches started to grow when we were there. Yeah, which means we were like 60 of us. And from the 60, we were like 10 or 12 females. at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that was also a small
that
percentage.
that was a big percentage at the time compared to the previous years. You know, so that's how it was. So getting acclimatized, first of all, to the food, to the language, the environment. The environment is more or less, well, the weather was more or less like Tanzania, like Dar es Salaam, you know. So that was not really that challenging, but getting used to, you know. So that's how it, and it was Kerala is very different from Pune. So we were kind of getting used to Pune, and then we had to travel, you know, like one north, one south.
And you were separated from Masi. How did you feel about that?
Actually, I was happy because I was always under her shadow. Okay. Oh, who is she? Oh, she's Dr. Indira's, or she's Indira's sister.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah.
That's how it was. I was known as her sister because, mashallah, she shone. English, you say like that?
I think it's shone.
Yeah, shone.
Shining.
Yeah, she kept on shining, and I was in the shadow, you know. And I was very content, but it was time to grow now, you know, to spread my own roots and to establish my own identity. And that's what I wanted, because I knew it. If I became a pediatrician or human, whatever, I would always be, because we would be sent to the same college. Oh, God.
Yeah, so that would have continued.
That would have been, I didn't continue from primary to secondary to high school to, no.
Because there isn't much of an age difference between the two of you.
No, we're just a year apart.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nani was busy.
She was very busy.
So, yeah. And then, so how did you end up in the UAE then? Because that's where you started your career as a veterinarian.
The UAE, because my dad, remember?
Yeah.
He had to come here to provide us with the funds so that we could study in India.
Yeah.
So after that, there was no two ways about it, but to come here first, and then decide what we want to do.
Okay.
So my sister decided to go back to Tanzania and do her post-graduation. And I said I didn't want post-graduation yet because I was not so sure about what kind of stream I would follow, you know? So I stayed here, and it was difficult to get a job, and the rest is history, because then I had to stand on my own 2 feet, get the veterinary license, you know, which was unheard of at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we are talking like 33 years ago. And that's why I keep on saying I was the first female veterinarian to be licensed in this country.
Wow.
Yeah. And then it went on. After that, there was a catch. Either you have experience, or you open your own business, or you this thing. And I didn't have the experience at the time. So I worked for a while in Ras Al Khaimah. That's where my father was.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided to do my own thing.
Okay. And what was it like for you to get a job? Because there weren't other women working as veterinarians at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So how long did it take for you from the time you were you finished your education, and then you came here to stay with Nani and Nana? And then after that, how long did it take for you to get your license and to get the job? Did you have to get your license first, or did you get the job first?
I got my license after having experience of 3.5 years.
Oh, okay. And then how did you get that experience?
Working for a clinic in Ras Al Khaimah.
Oh, okay.
Working for a clinic in Ras Al Khaimah, where I mostly was doing lab tests and working with small animals, because he was a camel specialist.
Okay.
Or he dealt mostly with camels. So I had to do, I used to help him with his health lab tests, and also with any can dog, goat, sheep, all these that were brought into the clinic. I was in lockup. I was not moving out of the clinic.
Oh, so you were in the office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to go out. He used to go out. I used to be stationed there in the clinic.
And what was that like? Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it, but I wanted more.
Okay. And then what is your definition of more?
My definition of more is getting, of course, more customers, more clients, and it's my own job. I didn't want to work for anybody. That's the truth.
Okay. So you had that entrepreneurship, that spirit in you.
And I said, no, I got to do something. I'll stagnate here and just rot, So it was that desire to become better. I wanted to open a clinic. I didn't have enough funds.
Okay.
I decided to become a mobile vet. I was roaming around with my little box full of like a, jack in the box with all those syringes and stuff like that and the medication with me, and used to move from house to house. And that really worked at the time because I was a lady. And the gentlemen around in the country, they prefer it when a lady goes to the house to treat while they're going to work and whatever, so their wives can, attend to their sick cats or whatever animal that I'm trying to treat. So it worked wonders that time in Ras Al Khaimah.
So you hit the untapped market.
Yeah, exactly, precisely that. Yes. And then from Ras Al Khaimah, I found it too small and too... I had to go to Sharjah.
Okay,
That's
so
what
you moved to Sharjah.
I moved to Sharjah. And Sharjah also, then it spread. The word spreads. It was mostly word of mouth. There's no
Instagram and Facebook.
No, nothing. Okay? So that's one. And it was really good because there was hardly any competition, number one. And moreover, I was a lady. So everybody felt comfortable that the lady would go. And I used to travel. Ya Allah. I really used to move with my little car. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
Yeah.
I travel a lot. Yeah. So that's how it was. And then I always, because the demand was that I should be able to perform my operations on the animals.
Okay.
And I couldn't if I don't have the premises.
Well, you couldn't rent a place or rent a theater?
No.
Or that wasn't a thing back then?
No, there wasn't a thing back then like that. So I had to get the premises, and that's how Ajman Pet Resort came into being.
Yeah.
And 10 years later, it was Al Zubair Animal Care.
Yeah, I remember both, actually. I remember that's where I learned how to drive in the desert, in that little Daihatsu that you got for Nani.
Yes.
And I could dune bash in that little Daihatsu, red one.
Little Sirion.
Yeah. And I think there was a horse stable next door.
Yes.
So I would walk, literally, it sounds like a very old school story. I would walk the desert for my horse riding classes. And I remember I would go between the farms.
Yes.
And one of the things you would tell everybody is that, listen, if you leave your pets here, it's fine because my daughter's going to play with them. And I would dedicate time after school, sit and play with every single pet. And then when camera phones became a thing, I'd take pictures and send it to the owner.
Yes.
And it's just because it was in my heart. And now that's what everyone does.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I would like to say I'd started it.
We are pioneers.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, exactly. And then what was it like to go from one business to the other? Because you had to move?
Yeah,
So,
we had to move.
okay.
It was circumstances which led to that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not easy to move, just like everything else.
Yeah.
Of course, there's financial restraint and later on getting used to the place. But the clients followed me. MashaAllah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
I remember there were
the
people who
clients
watched me grow.
followed me. Yeah. And there were some who thought that I was always that big. Because when I was in Ajman, I was busy producing your sisters. So some
because you were busy having kids while you were doing all this.
Yes. I was producing my sisters, and there's one lady who came first, and then after she comes back to me after about 4 years, and that time I was pregnant with the other one. And what have you?
The other
and
one.
Then she says, oh. Then she says, 2 years after that, and then I've started, of course, shrinking a little bit.
Yeah, you started your weight loss journey.
Yeah, journey. And then she says, oh, I thought this is how you were. I said, She thought I was pregnant all this time.
Oh.
And I told her, no, I'm not an elephant,
How long are elephants pregnant for?
Gestation period for elephants is about 24 months.
Fun fact
2
for everyone.
years. 2 years. Yeah. That's they carry the baby. Yeah. But then the longevity is also there.
Yeah.
More, so that's how.
Oh, so you were opening you had the businesses, you were moving from one plot of land to another. You were having all of us.
I had your siblings in the first place.
Where was I in the timeline of your business? Was I before you opened Ajman Pet Resort?
Before I opened Ajman
Oh, so you were still a
you
mobile
were the
back.
chief supervisor. When everything was being built and everything, you were there, little Jojo.
It's like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
Workers knew you then and everything. You were always little boss.
I was a little boss. What was I like as a kid? Just out of curiosity.
You were everybody's grandma. Everybody's grandma. You knew everything. Yeah, and you know, surprising enough, you were kind of smart, like you
Just
you know,
kind of smart.
yeah, smart, Danny. I don't want to praise you so much.
Okay, just a small praise, small praise.
Yeah, small. That's
This much.
yeah. So that's how it was. Yeah, it was fun because you girls used to wait to get back from school so that you can go to mama's work,
Yeah.
you know, and work. You know?
I love playing with all the animals.
Yeah, exactly. That was work for you.
Yeah, it was the best work. I said, do you remember Bona? So I don't know what it is with monkeys because they're obsessed with you. But do you remember that time when you sent me to her cage and you were like, Jouhayna, you need to go feed her the banana? I'm like,
I'm not going there.
I'm like, that looks like that is a terrible idea. I'm like, Ma, she's gonna be so mad at me. She's gonna be mad at you, so she's gonna take it out on me. And I respected this monkey. She didn't have a name. I think you named her Bona. She had a pink bum.
Yeah, she had a pink bum and she looked like a baboon. So
Yeah.
we called her Baboona.
Baboona, yeah. So I go in there with the banana, right? And I remember you're like, okay, make sure you lock the door behind you. She's very sneaky, da 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 da. You gave me the whole set of instructions. And you even told me which pitch to speak to her in. Good morning! So I followed all the instructions. And I go in and she grabs the banana from me. She grabs me by the hand and she slaps me across the face. Yeah, and then I was like, and I left the cage and I came back in and then I had to continue working like nothing happened. So yeah.
Nothing happened.
Because nothing did happen. If anything, I was disciplined.
By a baboon.
I was disciplined by a baboon. So yeah. And then what would you say would have been like the biggest highlight of your career? And what would you say would have been the more challenging parts for people that are looking into, you know, becoming a vet and having a business and everything, because you were one of the first few people in the country to do that. So what would be your advice?
My advice to them would be now is not like when I was there.
Yeah, everything's changed.
Competition in every sense of the word. Lots of competition. So either you've got to be extremely good, that, you know, you have your, you know. But then again, I used to cater to a lot of the homeless animals.
I remember
At a point in time, we had so many animals that we're looking after that you know, the business was no longer a business because we were making it was more of a loss than a profitable business.
I remember that because I used to do your accounts.
Yeah, all because of the animals that we loved and we couldn't say goodbye to.
Of course, yeah.
Having said that, you've got to be really strong, otherwise you go that way, you know.
Yeah.
So that was one of the downfalls, actually, challenges, because each animal is cute. That's which one are you going to not? Because the person abandoned it or they left the country, they said they're coming back in 3 days and then they don't come back ever. And they pay you only for those 3 days. So what are you going to do with the animal? You can't just give it away or kill it, or you can't. At least I can't.
Yeah, and
you know,
we did give a few up for adoption, but it's only because we knew those homes are
super solid, good homes. Yes,
and we took in most of them. I remember at one point it was cats, dogs, rabbits, humper, because he used to hump everything
that moved.
Tortoises,
yes,
budgies. Am I missing anything else?
Budgies.
I think those are those.
Yeah,
I think at one point, but all of them were living together in harmony.
Yes, in harmony. Yes.
This is still
Humper being high up in the hierarchy.
Yeah,
Humper, all the cats.
Yeah,
the dogs used to respect him.
The dogs, the biggest dogs would respect this tiny little rabbit with his floppy ears.
Floppy ears.
Yeah, and he was like a little dog. He would use the flap door to go in and out of the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Such fun. Those were good days.
Yeah, those are the highlights of my childhood.
So yeah. They were really, really good days, and I was so busy there.
And what was your transition like into retirement? Because for me, part of my story and even what I share with everyone is that I felt the need to take over because you were taking care of us in every aspect.
Yes.
So I felt that I should take over because I could tell you were getting tired because it was a lot.
It was a lot happening, and so yes, it was good that I had help, and alhamdulillah, you made it, and that has kept us afloat for many years. Okay, which was really, we are blessed. I am blessed having you as a child, and so are your siblings, your parents, your father, all of us. So now, what I was going to say was that transition of, from being such an active, busy person to having nothing significant to do. Significant is in the sense that I had to, wake up early and go and do this and do that and, start work and make sure this animal is fine and that one didn't eat last night and all the rest of it, all the little things that I used to do because I was so busy. And then the sudden drop of everything. Of course, I had the household chores and everything, but that transition was not easy because you are so tuned to this for 20 years. One has been doing that, and then suddenly, there's nothing,
I wasn't around to witness it because I left to start my air traffic program.
Yeah, for the training, yes. No, you were not there to witness it, and that was also a major challenge because we were always together.
Yeah, we were.
Always together, either working or whatever.
Yeah, we had a great together. We would do salsa classes together, samba classes.
Yes.
Yeah, we would even go to the gym together, so we kept each other accountable to work out.
Yes. And we were doing good that way. So all that, I was missing that as well. And then slowly I had to make sure that I had my extracurriculars upped. And
that's why you have so many hobbies?
That's why I have so many hobbies.
To fill the void of not being living at home anymore?
Exactly.
That's it. It explains a lot.
I did many different activities just to keep myself busy in a positive manner. I don't have to just be there, not doing anything. That's torture for me. So I was really busy. Then I started becoming busy with my activities and time them out, space them out. So yeah.
And tell me more about your journey into yoga, because growing up, I remember the memories I have is just loud and fire. Like, that's it. That's what I remember. Yeah, okay. And I feel like yoga has calmed you down immensely. Immensely. Because I was like, Mom, you've been through a lot in life. You should go to therapy. You're like, I don't need therapy. What are you talking about? And I was like, okay. And then I just left it alone. I was like, okay, I'm just going to leave it alone. You're an adult. Like, you do whatever you want. And then there was just a time we were out and you did not get mad. Yeah. And I was like, wow, that's nice. And I just feel like yoga has calmed you down so much. So what was your journey like getting into that?
Yoga, first I used to do a sprinkling of yoga in, even while we were working out, there used to be some classes that we used to do of yoga. Yeah, Pilates and yoga together, or some stretch, it used to be called, I don't know what, stretch.
Stretch.
Yeah, we used to do that, all that, okay? But then slowly, especially after I stopped working, I focused more into this. And yoga is an all-in-all healing thing. It heals you. It balances your energies. It just gets you grounded and settled there. And you start realizing your own worth. You go deeper into yourself. I don't do yoga for one day, I'm deranged.
Did you do it this morning?
I'm addicted. Yes!
Oh, thank God. I was like, I'm not ready to deal with that.
I'm addicted. If I don't do yoga in the morning, and morning is the best time, for me at least, I'm a lark. I wake up very early. A morning person. Yes, I wake up in the morning. If I don't do my yoga, my whole day doesn't start. And after that, everything else follows.
Yes.
So yoga is really good for me in the sense that you think or you noticed or you realize that I've become a lot calmer.
Yeah.
Oh, I surely have. It's the breathing.
Yeah.
It's the breathing. Yoga means part of it is the pranayam, which you breathe. And there are particular breathing techniques which I used to calm you down instantly.
What's your favorite one to calm you down?
There are so many. See, the trick here in breathing is that your breath out should be takriban 2 times as you breathe in. If you have counted up to 4 while you're breathing in, your breathe out should be minimum 8. If you can do more, it's good.
And do you have to hold so if you inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, do you have to hold and then exhale, or do you just exhale?
Techniques where you hold and then you exhale. But your exhale always has to be double or more than your inhale, and you've reached. Do a few of those. Even if you can't sleep at night, there are certain pranayama moves and breathing techniques that you do, and you can then go to sleep. You won't even finish 5 of them. You go up by 4, then you hold up to 7, and then you go out, you exhale 8. And you hold 2, and then again you start.
Because I started doing that, and then when COVID hit me and I realized my lungs weren't as happy as they used to be. So at first I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then when I couldn't breathe properly with COVID, I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, the holds are difficult.
Yeah, it's really difficult. And
especially after the exhale.
That's how I realized that I needed to check my lungs. It was actually the breathing technique because I started using this meditation app called Balance, and it really helped me meditate as well. Because every time you'd see me, you're like, you're so stressed. I'm like, Ma, I took on the most stressful job in the world. And you're like, you should just breathe. And I was like, how over? I'm like, whatever. Like, I was like, oh, whatever. Then when I started meditating, I really noticed that. And the meditation actually helped me be more in tune with my body and realize, okay, something doesn't feel right. So, yeah. And tell me about your latest public speaking gig. And after this experience you had, I think, without realizing, I got that from you, the ability to do public speaking.
Yeah, you see, I was called by the Art of Living, who are a group who do yoga worldwide. Yeah, it's global. So they called me and they said that they wanted me to give a speech, to give a little talk. Yoga and women empowerment, you know how it goes together and whatever. And if I have the time and whatever, I said, okay, yes, I can. And they had to get an Emirati speaker. So this time I agreed because, yes, I am an Emirati. So,
yeah, now you got your passport.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
So this time I agreed because initially they used to tell me to do this and whatever. I said, listen, I'm not, so you are not supposed to say I'm Emirati and I'm saying this. You know?
Yeah, because at the time you were Tanzanian by the book.
Yeah, I was a Tanzanian by the book. So I was like, okay, I will do it, but you have to not mention anything about nationalities because you said it should be an Emirati person. I'm not, so I cannot deceive people. But this time, yes, I agreed, and it was so spontaneous and so good. And I would think it went on with a perfect flow because I do it daily, What can I talk about this? Okay, I'm a woman, yes. Empowerment, yes. Yoga, yes. Daily, So it was just a medley of words which really were given out appropriately, and it functioned good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Because I remember I was there when you got the call, and you're like, oh, I have to do this public speaking gig.
We were together.
We were at dinner.
Yeah, yes.
And it was a very spontaneous family dinner. Yeah. I was like, I'm hungry. And everyone around me was hungry as well. And I was like,
as usual.
Exactly. We're always hungry. We're always hungry, even though we're on all these injections to make us not hungry. So, yeah. And I remember when you said this to me, I was like, okay, Ma, tell me how you'd introduce yourself. And you just kept faffing about it. I was like, no. Honestly, to tell you what to do was great.
I was like, once.
Wrong.
I told you, grandma.
I'm like, wrong.
You
Start
are
again.
the grandma. Yes, you are the grandma. You always have been. From the time you were a baby.
I just wanted you to excel. So I was like, okay, what I learned in my public speaking course is that people decide if they like you in the first 10 seconds. So how you introduce yourself determines if they're even going to pay attention to you.
It's true.
So we worked on your introduction, we worked on your hook, we worked on your final closing line.
Yes.
And then I taught you the sandwich method, which was, your title, 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, your finisher, and that's it. And you were able to visualize that later, right?
Definitely.
It worked.
It worked. Definitely it did because, when I went there, I had prepared, okay, in this section here, this is the intro, this is the and that is the final thing, you see? Mm-hmm. I'd gone prepared, writing all my things and whatever. By the time they called me, I left that piece of paper near my yoga mat, and I went to the podium. Okay. And I said what I'm good at. Khalas. Yeah. That is Hardika original.
I was telling you, wasn't I? I was like, original. The structure you think you're going to go in with versus what comes out of your mouth when you're holding the microphone is different.
It's different. So it was nice. It was really nice in the sense that even the kids came up to me and they were saying that, oh, we can now understand yoga a little bit.
Oh, that's so. The fact that you were able to make children understand means that you did such a good job.
Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. It was good, and there were some. Most of the women were coming and saying, "Oh, we feel so inspired by your talk and whatever." I said, "Yes, you feel inspired. Kindly practice it." The aim was, practice it. Otherwise, what's the use? I talked, you went back home, and khalas, no yoga. Stick to it. That's how it was.